What is going on, friends, and welcome back to the MinecraftHUB channel. Today we are doing another progress update on the mega bases of Hermitcraft Season 8, and they are absolutely insane. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like on it, and if you're new to our channel, hit that subscribe button as well so you can stick around and check out all the rest of our Minecraft content. We even have a brand new hardcore series that we just posted yesterday, so go ahead and check that out. First up today, we are looking at Good Times with Scar, who has made some major progress on his mountains. He's doing a lot of the texturizing of these mountains after having built up the whole shape of them, and he's adding in snow, diorite, and a lot of darker blocks as well to give it a lot of shading. This whole build looks absolutely insane, and he's still got a lot of work that he wants to do on it, but so far it is looking absolutely incredible. Of course, like most of Bodom, the back of Scar's base is still not complete, but that'll be completed at a later date, especially since Green still has to do some work on the back of his canyon as well. But all of this is looking absolutely amazing, and a lot of the texturing of this whole gigabase is now done. Next up, we are checking out Grian, who is working on the bottom of these mountains when he's not being transported off 2,000 blocks away by Mumbo's flying machines. Definitely one of the best of the AFK experiences so far. But this whole night sky that Grian has built on the inside of the mountain is absolutely incredible. He's using black stained glass with a mixture of end rods with black concrete on the outside, and although he still has a lot to connect up to it, it is looking incredible so far. I really can't wait for the buildings on the right side of this alley to go in, because I know it's really going to complete the entire look of this thing. Grian also went up and built an end to this alley so that it didn't just fade off into the weird ocean, but now it has a final destination. And also he's going to turn all that behind the Gringotts Bank into an actual Great Hall, which will look absolutely incredible. I really can't wait for that build later on. But this sky looks incredible so far. It looks like the entire night sky, and I really can't wait for him to terraform the alley up to it. Definitely a very spectacular build on Hermitcraft Season 8. Next up today, we are checking out Mumbo, who has been working on the actual buildings that are going on his giant armchair. And so far they're looking absolutely incredible. He's done both sides of the bottom of the armchair. He still has to work on the buildings on top, but he's not really too sure what he's going to do there quite yet, so we really have to wait and see what he decides. Everything else is looking absolutely beautiful though. He's basing it off of some rural towns in the Philippines, and it's looking incredible. If you see the reference pictures, they look very similar, and he's doing a great job of really bringing these to life in Minecraft. This is definitely a brand new building style for Mumbo, but he's putting in the time and effort to really work with it and make it look good, and it's definitely paying off. He's doing a lot of different pathways, things like that, to connect all these buildings, and it's going to be amazing to see when it's all done, when he adds in the bridge, and also whatever he decides to do on top of this armchair. And unlike most of Bodom, the back of his base is actually done. He's talked about doing a similar thing to what Grian did inside of the alley and putting a night sky inside of this, so we're really waiting to see what he decides to do, but it should look amazing once he does decide to do the interior of this giant base. Now going and taking a look at some of the things Doc M and Rendog are doing over at Octagon, they have found a way to actually make it so that the hopper inventory connects to a player's inventory, basically meaning that you can have infinite rockets in your inventory at all times. So this stack of 64 that is in Mumbo's hand currently will never actually go down as long as that double chest is full of rockets. I really have no idea how they've done this. It's some weird kind of hopper system that somehow connects to the inventory, but it's absolutely amazing, and just another way that Doc M is breaking the server this season. Not only that, but Doc M and Rendog did a huge grand opening of Octagon with a ton of lightning, fireworks, and a beautiful sign. It was definitely a great event. They also built up this huge tower in the middle of the Octagon, and it is absolutely incredible. This shop has been doing great so far, or rather the 8 shops I think that are inside of this. They have all been selling out all the items that they hold. I just watched Tango Tech go and try to buy cobbled deep slate here, and it was completely sold out. So definitely a great build, and also a great shop for all the people on the Hermitcraft server. And if you were wondering why Tango Tech needed deep slate, it is because he's working on the inside of this giant mountain built by B-Dubs. He is really giving Fifi a giant cave and it's looking incredible. He's throwing in magma, lava, deep slate, and it's all looking great. I really love also the fireplaces that he's putting in to give off the smoke effects, and he even went during this build and built up a basalt generator that produced a ton of basalt so that he could have all the materials he needed for this actual build. This thing is looking incredible though. I really can't wait for him to finish off all the interior of this place. He's really not sure if it's going to be his actual base yet or what he's quite going to do with it, but considering that he's putting in a lot of work to the inside of this, I really think he's going to make this place look incredible. Next up, we are checking out the Candyman Impulse, who has found some brown, or I guess chocolate cows inside of his giant candy garden. This thing looks absolutely incredible. It's now roofed off. Gemini Tay has put in one of her custom trees, and she is going to put in more as well, as Impulse put in an order for those. He has also created some delivery trucks to actually deliver the candy that this factory will produce, and they look incredible, although he still does need some mini blocks to complete the builds. I don't know if Grian's shop doesn't sell the mini blocks he needs, or if he just doesn't know that Grian is selling mini blocks, but either way, he should be able to find those from a wandering trader or the G-Train very soon. He built a total of, I believe, 5 of these trucks, 3 of them right here, the one he just built, and then one over at Eye Candy. So they all look exactly the same and they are incredible. Definitely very great looking builds. They look exactly like delivery trucks, and even the one on the outside, you can actually look at this one, right, delivering things to Eye Candy, and then look through the window of the factory and see the others, which I think is an amazing feature. He also built garage doors out of iron blocks that of course look incredible, and maybe Mumbo will get the hint and start buying iron from him instead of Tango. Next up, we are checking out iJevin, who is not really doing a base project in this one, but rather a community project for the whole server. This was an end island transformation, definitely a very cool build. He did a complete transformation of all the towers using amethyst and crying obsidian to add a little purple look to them. I think it looks absolutely incredible, and he also built a giant ring that goes around all the different portals and put trapdoors on all the portals so that hermits can easily go to any one they want and easily enter it as well. Definitely a super cool transformation. Must have taken a long time to cover all these towers in obsidian and crying obsidian and everything, so definitely a very cool build. He also built a new portal room to make it easier for hermits to get to the island or the Enderman farms. Next up, we are checking out XP Crafted, who has went ahead and built a submarine on the inside of this airlock system that he built in one of his last episodes. He did fill the bottom of this in with water later on, and even built in a drainage system so you could actually see how the airlock worked. This build is definitely looking incredible. He's done a lot of work on all the domes of this build. This one is one of my favorites so far. The way he put it is it looks kind of like a giant igloo, but he's definitely fine with it because it looks incredible. And as you can see here, it does have a very igloo shape, but I think it's extremely cool. It is a very cool looking airlock system. Of course, it doesn't fully function, which would be incredible if it did. But here you can see the drainage system for how the airlock would actually work. It would suck out all the water and be left with just the submarine. Next up today, Iskal has finally posted another Hermitcraft video. He went down with a sickness for quite a while there and wasn't able to work on his videos, but now he is finally back and feeling better, so hopefully he'll be producing a bunch more Hermitcraft content. The first thing that he worked on when he got back on the server was the entrance to his and Etho's base. It was pretty rough looking and also had a huge safety problem, as even as he was just looking at the entrance, he got blown up by a creeper. And while actually working on this project right here, adding all the moss in, he was blown up by another creeper. So maybe this new entrance isn't exactly safer yet, but it is definitely getting there and is a huge work in progress. Everything looks absolutely incredible. I love this shattered biome that they have going here, and I really can't wait to see all that they decide to build over here now that Iskal is finally back on the server. Next up, False Symmetry has been doing some work in her area as well. She of course had to build up a billboard to compete with Gemini Tay, who built up a Great Shops billboard over for her shops, so she built up a Greater Shops billboard, and now that directs her to all of False Symmetry's shops that she's got going. She also did a lot of work in her swamp area, and built up 2 frog statues which I think look absolutely incredible. These frogs are absolutely massive, and I love the design that she went for with these. They really do look like frogs. Hopefully these are the type of things that we get when the wild update finally comes. Of course though, you can't really build a frog without building a lily pad, so she went ahead and built a lily pad as well, with another frog sitting on it that was actually sticking out its tongue trying to catch a bug. I think this looks absolutely incredible. Definitely a great look for the whole swamp area. Now going back to iJevin and his actual base, he's done a lot of progress over here. He built up a giant hall that extended off from the main portion that he dug out, and this whole hall is going to be his storage room. He completely filled it with chests and item frames, and I can't imagine the lag that is going to be in this area once everything is finished. This whole place looks absolutely amazing though. You can see the amount of item frames that I was mentioning. It also has a bunch of different lighting in here and some amazing stone and deep slate variants that really give this place a great look. You can see this hall is actually on both sides of the base now, and he even has lights in the floor to really make sure that no mobs are going to spawn. He covered them up with wool though, so you can't just see them. Next up, we are going back to False Symmetry, who not only worked on her greater shops, but in an episode she posted today, worked on an underwater railway as well. So of course the railway that her, Gymnite and Stress Monster were working on, she has now done a ton of work on to really connect up their bases in this swamp area. She did a whole build with a bunch of different decorations, with one portion of this being completely underwater. And this is actually a new feature to 1.17, I believe, that the minecarts and the mine rails are actually waterloggable, so you can actually ride the minecarts underwater. I think this is a great feature and opens up a lot of creative options, and as we can see here, this is one of them. She also has an activator rail which lights up the eyes of this statue which she built here, so definitely a lot of fun things throughout this whole build. She even has a stop at her redstone shop, so hopefully that encourages some traffic to her redstone shop as well, which has been making a lot of sales, especially to Doc M. Last but definitely not least today, we are checking out Cubfan, who has made massive progress on this whole biome that he is creating. So he still has a lot of detail work and things like that to do, but he has been covering the whole area surrounding his canyon with red sand and lava, and it is absolutely incredible the huge space that he has completed. This is the map of the area that he's actually working on, and you can see it is so big. He is definitely creating a huge giant biome of his own in Minecraft, and I think that is incredible. I really can't wait to see this whole thing finished. Even the part that he's texturized now with all the different tumbleweeds, things like that, looks amazing. So I definitely can't wait for all the rest that he's doing. I also really can't wait for him and Pearl to combine their bases later on. They've mentioned doing it earlier in the season, so I really hope that happens. That is all that we have for you guys today though. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like on it, and if you're new to our channel, of course, hit that subscribe button so you can check out all of our Minecraft content. We post daily videos, so definitely go and check those out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.